So we all know of the health effects that pollution has on human body, impacting lungs, impacting upper and lower respiratory tracts, impacting the skin as well, and some cases even show that the brain of a person gets impacted because of severe pollution levels, the area in which we live around. Now, we are hearing that high levels of pollution can also impact a woman's reproductive system and her womb and can lead to miscarriages as well. To talk more about this, I have with me Dr. Vaishali Sharma, who's a senior gynecologist and earlier worked in AIMS also. Ma'am, what is the reason that today we are looking at this kind of relation between pollution and bad reproductive health in women?
Yeah, definitely. There is a clear-cut reason that there can be problem in the reproductive health of a female in case the air pollution is on rise. There have been many studies in past we have seen from different countries having already facing the problem of pollution. So they have proven, we have many studies which shows that definitely the reproductive outcomes, maybe if they are trying for a pregnancy, infertility, or if they are facing miscarriages, all of them they increase a lot in case they are having exposed to a lot of emissions. It can be due to tobacco smoke, it can be due to vehicular emissions, it can be due to industrial emissions. But because these emissions they contain toxic gases, and in our body, if we say only eggs are the cells which are in continuous dividing state. In our body, ovaries are functioning every month. There is a formation of egg and it is being released every month. So the organ which is working actually at that every time, and the cells where they are dividing, they are usually more exposed to the things which are there in the environment. Because the cells which are already dormant or which are not in a dividing state, they may not be harmed that much. But the cells which are undergoing division, they will be definitely exposed when, then in that case they will be harmed more. Because whatever chemicals are there, whatever toxic gases are there, those are reaching up to those cells because they need nutrients. They are getting all their nutrients simultaneously. They are also getting these toxic chemicals. They are getting accumulated in the eggs also. There have been many studies in the past, like in IVF cycles, they try to find out the levels of benzene in the follicular fluid, which is there in the follicles in which eggs are present. So they found out that the ovaries or the females who were having higher levels of benzene in their ovarian fluid that we call as follicular fluid, they were having difficulty in conceiving, they were having poor outcomes when they are trying for pregnancy, they were even having poor outcomes when they are undergoing for IVF also. So basically all these chemicals, they obviously when we are exposed, they get accumulated in our all the organs, but the cells where they are dividing, those chemicals they harm those areas the most. So definitely reproductive health is very important. We always talk about lungs and the effect on our heart, our lungs, but these emissions they cause very damaging effect on the reproductive outcomes, not even only females, even in males also, because in their body cell division is taking place in the testes. Sperms are being formed every day, it is going on daily basis. So these emissions are harming them also a lot. Nowadays, that is why we have higher rates of infertility in metros, and people who are trying to conceive, they take too much of time to achieve a pregnancy, and most of the time they have to undergo IVF also. There have been studies in the past which have shown that the females who are having residences close to any major highways or major roads, those who are being exposed to higher toxins, they are having difficulty in conceiving. They are having more miscarriages. They are having even more IVF failures are also in those. So this has been proven. There are many studies.
Does an IVF failure also count as a miscarriage? Because when eggs are implanted, that is also a process that takes time, and there is a wait period before after that. So can that also be one of the reasons that is led by pollution only?
Yeah, definitely. That is called as, sometimes we have recurrent implantation failures. So if something is, we are putting an embryo inside, it is trying to implant, but it is not able to implant. This is also an earlier form of miscarriage kind of a thing. Sometimes we get biochemical pregnancies. That shows that egg embryo has started to implant, but it is not able to continue further. We get a miscarriage when a patient finds out, okay, I'm pregnant, and now she starts having bleeding. That is a later form. But if we look at, this is a whole spectrum. It is not that it is, these are different identities. It is not like that. The whole reproductive system, it is getting toxic effects because of all the chemicals.
And ma'am, would you say that the current trend in miscarriages increasing has actually happened in the past decade alone, because we are looking at rising and constant levels of pollution, not just during peak winters in the northern region, but also in summer the pollution level is very bad in cities like Delhi?
Yeah, definitely. Miscarriages are increasing, the incidence is increasing, and infertility is also increasing. If we talk about, there is no data as such right now, but if we talk about the patients who are coming to us with a spotting in the first trimester or bleeding or threatened abortion, their number is increasing. Recently, if we talk about, I also got 4 or 5 patients in just last 1 week who are pregnant, and without any reason they are having a spotting or bleeding. So it can obviously predispose them to miscarriage. So definitely, pollution is making them more prone for all those outcomes which are not good. And definitely, if we talk about whatever chemicals are there in air pollution, it is almost similar to like a tobacco smoking. A person who is actively smoking, a person who is passively smoking, they are definitely on a higher risk for miscarriage, for poor baby outcomes. So all the things are interrelated, and they are definitely being harmed by these chemicals.
Well, this is a very concerning trend that has been seen because of pollution, and certainly studies also say that this could happen. But just imagine that if women are not able to conceive properly or not able to take care of their reproductive health because of high exposure to levels of pollution, we can only imagine what is going to be, become of the future generations in this country. With Prem Chandra Mishra in New Delhi, Milan Sharma for India Today.